Hey, Earthgard here, and Frieren Fridays are back on the menu. I'm so happy we finally have season 2, the trio is here, and the episode just flew by. The mood, the atmosphere, just exactly what I needed after this week. This episode was great to get back into things, and I've missed it. I've missed the series quite a lot. So let's get into this episode and talk about it. Now, I liked how it picks up from season 1 with them needing money and having to find work there, the journey, slowly seeing the steps here. I like how Fern was instantly focused on the practicality of things, having to deal with everything here. And after them having to camp a bit, and Stark, yeah, he's the greatest fisherman ever. He was fishing and he brings back the biggest small fish. That was great, man. The comedies here, the interactions between the characters, and we actually have Frieren waking up early, and everybody was surprised, but she had a reason to. She woke up to show everybody this crystal. She probably left it there a long while ago. She knew about it here, and this magic crystal has the ability to nullify magic itself. Now, they couldn't cast anything. Fern was trying to light a fire there, but she couldn't, and apparently when Stark moved away with it, magic came back, and that's gonna play probably a major role. Like here we see it a bit in this episode, but I'm really curious how this is gonna be used moving forward. It's probably gonna affect a lot of things, and they're very valuable here. But imagine somebody as strong as Zerie, as Frieren, being nullified by magic crystals like this. So something to keep in mind quite a lot. And it has a secondary effect. If you put mana into it, it glows a lot. And I like how Frieren uses it a bit later in this episode. And for an instant, like, just get it away from me, just getting away from me. And here from the beginning of this part here, we see how dependent a bit Fern is on her magic, how much she relies on magic for her quite a lot. It's something that she learned, and something that has been a big part of her entire life here, and having something that just cancels out that big of a part of yourself has some pretty big emotional and internal effects, let alone the magical things itself there. But back on the journey, after they leave it behind and it's still glowing, they fall down, collapsing into a hole in the ground. They fly a bit at first, but then after that they fall down, and it's an underground cave full of those crystals, like a big deposit there, and they're pretty much fucked, to say the least, especially Fern and Frieren. There, no more magic, and I like how Stark tried to cut it. And yeah, he hit quite hard. The impact was there, but zero effect. Apparently, it's a really hard material. Can't be cut or processed with magic, which makes sense. But I'm really curious, how do you even handle something like this? Or do you just use it in the natural state you find it? Are there maybe some stronger warriors or something else that is actually able to interact with this material? I have so many questions surrounding this here, but what I liked the most there were the character moments that we've gotten in this episode, and continuing from season 1, how Frieren was instantly, Stark, I'm counting on you, and the reminder there, I still haven't forgotten you called me an old hag. He's never gonna win for guy with Frieren or with Fern. Stark was probably the highlight of this episode for me. But the cave journey was great, seeing their discovering. Reminded me quite a lot of Mushoku Tensei The Labyrinth. I'm not gonna go into spoilers with that. I have videos if you guys wanna check it out. Both series are my favorites there. I love them quite a lot for various reasons here. But traveling to the cave, they find the animal bones, and kind of looting there's some monsters here, and we see Fern, how much it affects her again with magic. Is scared, but saying that Frieren is having fun, which is true to an extent, but also different perspectives of looking at things, trust, and what it means to be a party. That was kind of the first part of the episode, and we're again kind of having lessons in the episodes, the first part, and then moving a bit the plot forward, and again with the lessons. And this first part was what exactly it means to be in a party there. It affected Fern quite a lot, but before anything more could happen, they get interrupted by this giant lizard there, and Stark has to save Frieren because she was still sleeping, and apparently it's a venomous apex dragon. Looks more like a lizard, but sure, let's go with dragon there. And I like how Frieren instantly said, hey, it's a bad matchup for you, Stark. You're gonna be poisoned, die again by poison. Still not winning. But the important part, which I liked from all the jokes and things there, Frieren instantly that shift in attitude, instantly saying, I trust you with my life. Stark, I trust you with my life there, even though Stark was still doubting himself, saying, I'm already ready to run. And that didn't phase Frieren, like she already accepted that, knew the situation here. So let's just run, and uses one of the crystals as a flashbang, imbuing it with mana. But then we see how she got to this point, to trust somebody this much. We see a bit of the flashback there when Aizen asked Himmel, how can you trust me so much with your life? I already abandoned my village. That's what it means to be in a party. So let's just run together. Himmel was the one that came up with the idea. We see them, the flashbacks are already on point, always the timing here. Not too long, they don't overstay their welcome, they do their job, they're here, and we get to see a bit of the original party and journey there, the moments between them, and how it resonates and mirrors a bit here in the present, and recontextualizing the lessons for Frieren also. It's so good to see this back again. We see the original group versus that dragon, and them ending up running in the same way as in the present here, and Hyter being the one that carried us. But yeah, then we get Stark running with both of the girls. They managed to get out here. He was tired, but also towards the end of the episode here, we see how much more Fern was affected by this, and we're gonna get back to that, because after this we see the camp, them washing the clothes in the river, and how much Fern cherishes the gifts, the items she got from people there, all of them here quite a lot. That small moment between her and Frieren was awesome, but Stark walks in on them and instantly pervert. Poor guy can't catch a break this episode. And it's even funnier because Frieren starts picking up on things, saying, hey, things are awkward now. And Stark's like, oh, even Frieren is noticing. Poor guy. But also I have to give a lot of credit to Frieren, like she instantly swapped that conversation, saying, if you're uncomfortable for any reason, just say, I was the one that forced you to be into this party. We remember how we first encountered Stark, how he was scared, how Frieren kind of put him into this situation, but Fern was the one that affected him emotionally more, kind of changed his perspective, encouraged him, and we see this in this episode. Also, we're gonna get to that there, but the journey continues. They reach that crossroad at an inn, and we find one of my favorite characters in the series. I really liked him in the tournament arc there. Rebel is here saying demons are acting up at his home. He still wants Stark to join him at least for 2 to 3 years. Gets denied, even though he tries a bit more with drinks and things like that. And I like how Frieren was open to the idea, like, sure, you can try, when Rebel even asked permission from Frieren, and Frieren was like, yeah, go ahead, try, talk to him, do whatever you want, convince him if you can. But she wasn't saying it like thinking like Stark was gonna refuse flat out. She had that much of course she did have that, but she did it just to give the freedom to Stark to make his own choices, to choose that, even though Fern was like, wait, what? He didn't understand what Frieren was fully doing it there. But Fern, after this, starts talking to Stark one-on-one there. Stark flat out says he refused their the proposition from Rebel. I really liked that quite a lot, and him remembering their first meeting, how down he was, how much he was doubting himself, but Fern was the one that encouraged him, and it meant a lot to Stark. So him saying, I'm not going anywhere, just be nicer to me. She's like, okay, very well, come here, I'll pet you. After that, his spider senses activated. What is your plan? Poor guy, even when he wins, he can't win. That was great there. So this episode was awesome, and even more, see after that moment how much more scared Fern was during that cave. It seemed or fun and games comedy a bit, but even Frieren was scared when they got out. She of course had that brave face, but after they finally got out, she admitted, okay, that was scared, and even seeing the sweat on her face. But here we see a bit more the context when they were running, how much scared Fern was, and holding on to that bracelet, thinking of everything here, how much it affects, how much not having her magic with her means with that. So that was small moment, but very important moment. And after this saying their goodbyes with Rebel, him accepting that everybody has their own journey, and in the end that's all that matters, and they're still going to reach that destination. We're probably gonna see Rebel again, which I hope so. He's a great character here. But yeah, great start. I'm happy Frieren is back so much. And I'm still laughing at the scenes at the episodes here. Maybe I'm even gonna rewatch the episode again after this, or at least some moments here, man. Yeah, series still looks good, animation wise, character designs, everything. I'm curious how it's gonna go. I'm curious how many episodes we're going to get. I don't think we're gonna get 28 or 30ish, however much we got back in season 1, because we started with 4. Then we had that 28, but yeah, here we'll see. And it's great. We're eating so good at as Frieren and anime fans in general with this season. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this episode. Are you happy the series is back? What do you think so far? As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Frieren. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.